Hello, truth seekers, light workers. How are you all today? Welcome to this week. Today's Monday. Have you noticed what's happening? Can you feel what's happening at the moment? We are in a battle, of course. We said this. We're in the Third World War. We're in the moment of revelation, and never before has that been more literal than what is happening now. We're in a point of revelation. We are, according to kind of the many people that I listen to, what I see. Let me backtrack and explain what I mean. What I see is like a message that comes through at a certain point, and then that message goes away, and then another message comes through at a certain point, and then that one goes away, and it's almost like we do watch other people's information, or I think everybody who does videos watches other people's videos. But what I'm aware of is that many times when I feel drawn to say something, and then afterwards I look at other people's videos and they seem to be saying the same thing, and it's almost like this, the shared consciousness that we have, or the collective unconscious, I think they call it. But it's almost like we're all in tune with what's happening. For example, a while ago I felt very drawn to say to people, choose your side. Choose your side. On what side are you going to make your stand? And it was almost the feeling that I had was that the choice needed to be made then, because if not, it was going to be too late to change afterwards. And I'm not talking about the goodies going to the baddies, because that never happens. I'm talking about the baddies moving to the goodies. And so what did I hear? But every demonstration around the world, I was hearing this chant. Whenever the police were there, the people chanting, choose your side, choose your side, and chanting it over and over again.
Choose your side, choose your side, choose your side, choose your side, choose your side.
But I'm not hearing that so much now, because then I heard it change to shame on you. And everybody started to chant. It was always to the police, because the police just keep, good grief. The police must be able to hear. I know here in Spain they are. They're fed up. Trying to put into place rules that keep changing every week, and rules that make no sense, and rules that actually making them look like really bad people. They're fed up. But all that's happening is that people are shouting, shame on you. Shame on you. These demonstrations are always peaceful. And the people are always shouting, freedom, freedom. Shame on you. Okay? And so what I see is that we've moved forward from this choose your side to, now that you haven't chosen your side, well, shame on you. Yeah? And soon we're going to get to a place of absolute revelation. And where, you see, I was listening to somebody, a lovely man, Sasha Stone, and he was talking to a lady, and the lady said, I talked to the people who were still asleep. And she said, and they've just got such a long way to go. It's going to take a long time for them to actually come round. And Sasha Stone, rightly enough, said, this is exactly what I was thinking as I heard that. He said, not necessarily. Maybe what it is, they can come round very quickly, but they need something very big to wake them up. And I know I've said this before, that it's not our job to wake people up. In fact, it's not even that it's not our job. We can't. We don't have the tools, because those people are plugged into a system that is so pernicious, that is so controlling, that they are unable to even hear the words that we are speaking. And it's for that reason that we don't need to concern ourselves about waking people up. The gut feel that I have is that self-same system is going to have to tell them. That self-same horrible black box stuck in the room in pride of place, sometimes bigger than anything else that's in that room. That is what's going to have to tell them. Now, quite how that happens, I don't know. But the sense that I get is that very soon, and I'm starting to see it now, I'm starting to see some interesting things happening. For example, in the UK, the Daily Mail, which is one of the very, very key long-term tabloids in the UK, did a write-up about the COVID, right, the Rona, talking about the fact that all of the stats that are coming out are showing that this year is better than the last 3 years in terms of hospital admissions, in terms of flu cases, and when I say flu cases, I'm talking about all of the cases that now there's no flu anywhere. People don't get flu; they just go straight for Rona, and that's because the test that they test them with tells them that they have it, but really they don't, because the tests now are, now even here in Spain, the same tabloids talking about the test and how unreliable it is. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. So what I'm saying is that some of the press is starting to shift. Why? Is it because the press is good? Absolutely not. They're horrible. They are horrible. They're complicit, and they do not deserve a future, and they won't have a future. I don't believe. I believe that this is the death we are observing, the death of media as we know it, and beautiful. And long may it be dead. Yeah, the media is dead. Long live the new media. And we're seeing the birth of new media, the new news. I watched a beautiful thing where there's a company called Newsmax, which is an American company, a cable company, and now it's just exploded. Why has it exploded? I mean, people are leaving the things like CNN and Fox News, because Fox did such a bad thing, and they really turned coat. That's what they did during the elections. They turned coat. And suddenly all of the people that would follow them, thinking that they were getting genuine news, have left them. And so the ratings have plummeted. CNN is going up for sale. They're trying to sell it and they can't sell it. Why would you sell something when news is just like premium at the moment? Because they're hemorrhaging viewers. People don't trust the media anywhere now. And what they do trust are the home reporters, the people who are on the ground, who go to places. You know, for example, the reporters who go to a hospital just to see if that hospital actually has anybody in. Or they go to a PCR testing centre just to see how many people are there, and they're finding that there's no fucker there. They are the real reporters. And so what's happening, for example, Newsmax, these are people that are not formal. They're quite happy to say a little swear word every now and again, to make a joke. I watched two ladies, I'm going to have to say this the proper way because otherwise it's not the way that I want to say it, but two ladies of colour, all right, African Americans, and they were hilarious. I absolutely loved the news session that they did. It was real. It was tangible. You could smell it, that they were genuine people. And it was making me laugh. That's what new news is. That's where we're moving. And the old Leviathan of old, horrible, manipulated, capitulated news is dying. The same in the UK. The BBC is dying on its feet because people do not trust it anymore, because they have been, and this continue to cover the badness and the illness of this world and tell you that it's okay, and make you feel bad if you don't love the illness that is going on in the world. So I'm seeing this big shift now, and we are just about to enter into the full revelation. Now, I have a feeling that that is going to come. It's coming now, and that is going to be a fairly swift thing. And that revelation is what is going to wake people up. The people that we can't reach, the people that we can't touch. They're going to be woken up by something far grander. Okay? That is, and our job, to give witness to that, to be there and watch it as it unfolds. Now, just because that's going to happen doesn't mean that the baddies are just going to give up. All right? I think there's worse to come. Personally, I think that we're going to see some horrible things as they try and pull out all of the stops to stop this from happening, but they can't. Why? Because it's God's plan. That's it. So, bottom line, we've got the full backing of God, and it's time. We've moved out of the dark ages. We're on a cycle. It's the same cycle that we go through. All 128,000 years, I think, is the turn of the universe, I suppose, or the what's it called, the horoscope, 128,000 years. The second part of that, which we passed in 2012, at the end of that timeline, we're moving to the age of light. So there isn't an option for the baddies. The baddies have had 50, 60, whatever it is, 64,000 years of working their evil. And now it's our turn. Now it's the turn of the goodies. And to have this beautiful age starting, and we're going to move to the golden age. Okay, in some time frames that I've heard from people who are very closely linked to scientists and to those who know what's happening. It's all to do with the sun and the ultraviolet light that's coming from the sun, and we're going to have a mega boost in 2030, like a mega one that's going to shift us. Okay, but this next 10 years is going to be the period in which we begin to heal. Or we heal from this. So this is what I see happening. Awful, 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 awful. Like hidden, suddenly a revelation. Now, 15 years I've been looking at the theories about the badness that's going on. 15 years. So what happens is when I hear something that I've never heard before, for example, adrenochrome was a new one for me. However, it doesn't impact me, because it impacts me as in, oh God, another horrible thing. But I don't have to assimilate. I don't have to go through the process of, what, they really are that bad that they do that. I already know that. Okay? So I've had the benefit of having 15 years to prepare my mind for the worst. But lots of people are only months into the awakening. They're only months in. And so what happens is every time they haven't had a chance to go through, they haven't had a chance to assimilate this, they haven't had a chance to get to the place where they go, yeah, I know, yeah, tell me about it. And so everything's like this, what? Okay? Those people are the ones who have already woken up. Imagine the people who are asleep. Imagine the people who have spent months criticizing us, who spent months laughing at us, who spent months saying terrible things to us, suggesting that it would be better if we caught the virus and died. That's not an exaggeration. These people, because they're in such a bad place and they're so asleep and they're so plugged in, they become an extension of the evil. And so they're very happy to say, oh, you want to go out in the street and demonstrate? Well, we hope that you get the virus and you die. We hope that you get the virus and take it home and give it to your family and all your family die. I've read comments about like that. Imagine those people when they are shook awake, when the truth shakes them so hard that they wake up. Imagine what they're going to go through. Imagine the embarrassment, the disgust, the self-disgust. And when I do therapy, I measure people and I ask them, how much do you love yourself? How much do you think you're worthy? Yeah, how much do you admire who you are? And generally, when people come to me in therapy, it's not very good. It's pretty low. And it's all about this lack of love for yourself, this self-disdain. Well, imagine where these people are going to be when they know that the information was there. They know that we were trying to give them it, and they laughed at us and they said awful things to us. They are going to be in a shit place. They're going to be in such a shit place that we're going to need 10 years to heal. They're going to need 10 years to heal. We won't need 10 years to heal, but mankind in general will. There's an awful lot of sleeping people that are going to be so violently awakened that they are going to bring the nightmare with them. They're going to be in a nightmare, a waking nightmare. And some would say, serves them right. Some would say that. I've heard it, okay? Lots and lots of people who have really suffered this journey, do want to have and do want to see some justice. And there will be justice. There will be justice. But I'm going to leave you with this. I never ever have to worry about justice. Divine justice. I never worry about it. I never spend time thinking, oh my God, I want to see these people. I want to see justice served, and I want to see these people in trouble, and I want them to feel bad. I never ever have to think about that, and I would suggest that you don't either. That really is not a good place to be. Right? You don't need, it's not your job. And I'll tell you why I don't have to worry about it, because I know 100%, I am absolutely 100% sure that it's going to happen. Divine justice happens because we've got the law of karma. But apart from that, people who have allowed themselves to get into a really bad place, people who have extremely low self-esteem, low self-worth and low self-love, they live in hell. They are living in a waking hell. They bring upon themselves their own punishment. The law of attraction makes it happen. Karma makes it happen. And they make it happen. So what I always say is this. People say, oh, but these people are doing this and they're getting away with it and everything, and they seem to be fine. They're not. Trust me, on the inside, these people are rotten. They're rotting away on the inside. Okay? They are deeply, deeply unhappy. And so, don't worry that judgment won't be served. It's being served now. It's absolutely being served now. The people who are doing these awful things are not happy. Trust me, they are not happy. They are in a terrible place inside. They are terrified. They know that their time is running out. They know the time's short. And they are in an awful place. And afterwards, they're going to be in a worse place. But that's not our concern. Our concern is to get ourselves into a good place. That's it. Get ourselves into a good place and help others get themselves into a good place. And I know that I'm going to be very busy dealing with people's shit after this. And that's fine. That's my job. I'm here to help, and I dedicated my life to it. In fact, I made a promise, and I made a promise to the universe, and I said, if my family gets through this safely, if we all get through this safely, and I know we will anyway, but I did it anyway, then I promise to dedicate my life to helping people for the rest of my life. Okay? That was the deal I made with God. Right? Better than making a deal with the devil, isn't it? I made a deal with God. And since I made that very deal, since then, I've been flooded with people coming for help already. It was like, okay, well, there you go. Show me now. Yeah, so I didn't have to wait until afterwards. So I know everything's going to be fine, and I know that there are going to be a lot of people who need help, and we are going to have to help them, whether we like it or not. We're going to have to help them, okay? Because they need to heal, and they're going to be very sorry, and there will be I told you so's, and there will be lots of sorries, okay? But that's fine, and we'll get through it, and we'll move on. And hey, in 2030, I'm going to be 66. And that'd be lovely to see the big one, because something very big is going to happen in 2030. And there's going to be kind of the ascension happening for all of us to move into something very, very different. But already this year is going to see something very big. Okay, and the start of next year, and by March of next year, we should be moving into something very beautiful. And when I say very beautiful, in comparison to in 10 years' time, not very beautiful, but in comparison to the last year, absolutely fucking brilliant. Okay, so I'll leave that with you, and I'll see you on Friday. Have a great week.